experience loss. You're going to experience depression. You're going to experience all these things. And we live in a society now where, more than ever, it has become so hard to actually feel normal for feeling depressed. I wouldn't say feeling normal, feeling depressed, but feeling normal to have a struggle. We feel like, man, everything is perfect. Everybody's life is all together, and we forget that this is a part of life. Just as well as we have our ups, we're going to have our downs. And so when I'm going through these moments, I love to disconnect. And I disconnect from the world because some of us, we're so connected to everything that we haven't connected to our soul. We haven't connected to our peace because we're so connected to requests. We're so connected to comparing our life. We're so connected to all these outside things that we ignore our internal soul. That's why mental health issues are at an all-time high. Suicides at an all-time high. All these things are happening in our life because we feel like we have to be this idea that the world gave us to be successful. We have to be this idea of, whatever it may look like to have it all together, right? We have to fit this mold of you're supposed to have it all together. That's not the truth. Nobody in this world has it all together. You don't have it all together. I don't have it all together. Your favorite influencer, your favorite celebrity doesn't have it all together. And the problem that we face is that we feel like we have to portray this image of having it all together. That's why I love the platform that I built. That's why I love you guys, because I built a platform from day one of transparency, from day one of showing y'all, man, I'm going through it. I've been through it. I'm going to go through it. And this platform is my therapy. I'm able to speak to you guys. I don't have to put on a facade. I don't have to smile for the camera. I don't have to do all these things just to impress you, because a lot of people are killing themselves because they feel like they have to impress you. A lot of people are killing themselves because they feel like there's no way out, because a lot of times in this life, and work with me through this, man, my heart is just pumping. A lot of times in this life, we attach our worth to all these things, man, that aren't true fulfillment. We attach our worth to how people feel about us. Everybody in the world can love you, and you can still feel empty inside. I promise you that. Everybody in the world can cheer your name and champion you, and you can still feel empty inside, because that's an empty fulfillment. A lot of us, we tie our worth to our bank account. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you right now, just because you're financially free doesn't mean your soul is free. Just because you're financially free doesn't mean that you're still in a prison in your life. And a lot of us, what we do is we think that, man, if I have these things and I have everything, and what happens? When you see somebody commit suicide, it seems like they have it all. When you see somebody depressed, it seems like it has it all. What happens is that you get the have it all, and you realize that it's nothing. You realize you get the everything, and you realize that it's not everything. And that's when depression hits you even more, because you think that you're missing something. So you watching this right now, a lot of you think that you're missing something. You feel like you're missing these things, and once I get these things, I will have everything, I'll be okay. And it's not the truth. Because oftentimes when you get these things, it's just more things, more stress, more add-ons, more facades you have to live in, more perceptions you have to please, and all these things, if you're not careful, and you find yourself losing yourself. You find yourself more stressful. You find yourself with more weight on your life. You find yourself in more problems because you feel like you have to be this person to the world. I want to tell you right now, man, it is okay not to be okay. I've said that since 2010. It's not okay to stay that way, but it's okay not to have it all together. It's okay to go through a struggle. It's okay to say, man, you know what, I'm having a hard season. It's okay. You're a damn human being. Life isn't always going to be perfect. But you realize life is what it's supposed to be when you just accept life and you realize that I'm going to have my down times. I'm going to have my up times. But a lot of times what we're doing is we're tying our worth, we're tying our fulfillment to things that can't fulfill us. Some of you think, oh, when I get 1 million followers and I get all these things, I'll be good. You see people committing suicide with everything. So that's telling us right now, that's why I'm writing my book, Protect Your Peace. This is one of the big pieces in my book. I'm telling you that even if you obtain those things and you still have a void in your soul, you're still going to feel unfulfilled. Even if you attain financial freedom instead of avoiding your soul, you're still going to be unfulfilled. Even if you obtain celebrity status and you still have avoiding your soul, you're still going to be unfulfilled. Even if you obtain the relationship that you want, the marriage that you want, and you still have avoiding your soul, you're still going to be unfulfilled. Even if you attain your dream job and you have avoiding your soul, you are still going to be unfulfilled. The things that we don't deal with don't just disappear. They reappear. And because don't just disappear, they are there regardless. They reappear in our success. The things that we are dealing with in our struggle don't just disappear. They will reappear in your success. I want you to understand that the thing that you have in your, I'm about to go in, man. This is it right here. The struggles that you have in your loneliness, I'm going to tell you right now, they don't just disappear. They will reappear in your relationship. They will reappear in your marriage. They'll reappear in your friendship. The thing that the struggle that you have, right? Because you're jobless, because you don't have your dream job, because you're working a job that you hate. I'm going to tell you right now, they will reappear when you get your dream job. The things that we don't deal with don't die. They find life in us, and at a deeper level and at a stronger level. Because then you start to realize, like, man, I'm supposed to be okay because I have everything the world says that matters. I have the picture perfect relationship. I have the money. I have this. I have that. I'm supposed to be good. This is the American dream or the world dream. I'm supposed to be good. But then you realize that you're not. And that's when it gets real. Because you think that you're missing something. You think you're missing a thing in your life. You think you're missing a status in your life. You think you're missing something external. You think you're missing a comma in your bank account. You think you're missing a blue check by your name on social media. You think you're missing support from your friends. You think you're missing that. The thing that you're missing is just appreciation for your life. And I know that seems so simple, but life comes down to this, y'all. And this is my opinion, my perspective. Somebody has been through both sides of life, experienced everything. Life becomes beautiful when you start realizing that you're here for a purpose. And I get it. Sometimes that purpose ain't clear. But when you realize that you are here for a purpose and everything that you go through holds purpose and is for a purpose, you don't tie your emotions to your situations. So when I was in my struggle and I still had smiles on my face and they were real smiles, I realized that there was a deeper purpose in my struggle. I might not have fully understood it in that moment, but I realized that there was something deeper than that. And so I learned to appreciate the position that I was in, even though that position wasn't favorable to the world. Even though that position didn't align with my dreams, even if that position didn't align with the vision that I had for my life, I learned to appreciate my position because I understood that my position there was positioning me for something greater in my life, even though I didn't know what that greater was. And I had times in my life on the flip side where I had great positions, NFL and top motivational speaker, all the things. And I didn't sometimes appreciate it because the struggles got to me. I didn't ask myself, what is this trying to teach me? What is this trying to show me? And that's when depression was set in. That's when anxiety sets in and sadness sets in. And so I guess I'm trying to tell you today is I believe life is about doing what you love with who you love. You know, we have this short experience in this thing we call life. And I believe that a lot of us, even myself at times, we allow things to matter that shouldn't matter. At the end of the day, the 99% of things that are mattering to you really don't matter, right? That annoying coworker, does that really matter at the end of the day? Are you gonna look back at the end of your life and think about that annoying coworker or that situation in your life? And I know it might seem big now, but in the grand scheme of our life, Oftentimes we blow out of proportion the moments that are just moments. And we make those moments big things in our life when they were supposed to be just tiny moments that we experience in this thing called life. And what a lot of us do is we magnify the 99% of things that matter, that don't matter. We magnify those things. We tie our worth to those things. We tie how we feel about ourselves to those things. We define ourselves by those things. We tie our identity to those things that really don't matter at the end of the day. And we live our life ignoring the 1% that does matter. Time with your loved ones. Because there's going to come a time where you can't get that back. Right? We ignore that. We don't value that. We don't understand how special it is. And we think God ain't blessing us because God ain't giving us the things that we see. We think God don't love us because God ain't giving us the things that we see other people get, that we love to have. And we think God don't love us. But you don't realize, man, some of you got your moms this Christmas. I ain't got my mom. You feel me? Some of you got your grandparents this Christmas. I ain't got my grandparents. Some of you got your uncles and aunts. There's plenty of uncles and aunts that I lost. Some of you got your best friends. I got a best friend that I don't have this year. And we think we ain't blessed. You blessed, my friend. Stop tying your blessings to all this crap you see online. You know, I love the life that I live. I'm appreciative of it. Like, I love it, but I don't define my worth to the things. Because when I lose these things, I don't want to lose myself. If I lose these things, I don't want to lose myself. But a lot of us, we tie our worth to these things. And as we go through this human experience, we feel like God doesn't love us because of what he doesn't give us. But sometimes God's love is shown. All the time, God's love is shown for us by what he doesn't give us. Because I'll tell you right now, the things that you could be praying for to have in your life could be the one thing that destroys your life. I know firsthand. I know people that I talk to all the time. I know myself in periods in my life and times in my life. The NFL almost took my life, y'all. It almost took my life. I was so down, it almost took my life. And that was the one thing that I was always praying for. So some of you ain't getting what you want because God loves you too much to give it to you. And I want you to understand that. Ask a person. Some people are praying for a relationship. There's a person out there in the world that's been murdered because of their relationship. And you worried about that. You think God don't love you because of what he ain't giving you. There's a time and a place for everything. You got to trust God's plan for your life. You can't look without and say, man, I don't have enough because I don't have what they have. I'm living in lack because I think they're living in prosperity. I think they're living in abundance by what I see. So now I think that I don't have enough. When you don't realize that you have all the abundance and prosperity that he's giving you. You have health. You might have your parents in your life. You got love around you. You got breath in your body. You have the things that we overlook every single day. And once you get down to simple happiness and simplify life, you can learn to enjoy life. So when times are hard in my life, I understand I'm making life too complicated. When I'm going through my worst, my hardest moments, I'm making life too complicated. I'm like, Trent, get back to simplicity. What are you overlooking? What are you not appreciating that you should be appreciating? What are you blowing out of proportion that shouldn't be even mattering in your life? And you're ignoring the things that should matter because, Trent, you felt losing your mother. You understand that was one of the greatest blessings God has given you that you probably took for granted because that's all that you knew since you lived life. And I realize these things, y'all. And so I'm not telling you don't go live the life, right? Hope you get all the things that you wish for, pray for, everything. But just know if you don't get those things on your timing, it doesn't mean that your life is terrible. It doesn't mean that your life is bad. It doesn't mean that your life is worse than somebody else's. I want to tell you that. And I wanted to share that with you today. So if you're on this live or watching this video right now, it was meant for you to be here, y'all. Because I had no intention of pressing play today. But this was on my heart and I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to share just a real vulnerable moment with you. And I think if we can get back to the simple happiness in our life, get back to the simple things in our life, go watch your kids. If you got kids, if you got grandkids, if you're around kids, go watch them. See how happy they are with the simple things in life. The simple things. The simple things, the smallest things in the world. My daughter can get a cough drop and be happy off a cough drop. You know what I mean? Like the simple things. And as we get older, by default, we're programmed this way. As we get older, we don't find value in the simple things no more. We got to make our happiness complicated. We got to have $1 million home. We got to have 1 million followers. We got to have somebody, supporting us. We got to have all the things. We got to have all the things in order to be happy. And you wonder why you're not happy. You wonder why you're depressed because you have made that stuff too complicated. Get back to being happy for a cough drop. I know last week I couldn't speak and the cough drop was my biggest blessing. I was praising God for the cough drop. I'm like, thank you, God, for this cough drop. The cough drop became the most important thing in my life at that moment because I lost my voice. I couldn't speak. So I know that's an extreme example, y'all, but I hope that you get it. I hope that you get it during these times. So when it gets hard during this season, when it gets hard during next year, just ask yourself, man, what am I failing to appreciate? Where can I look around and be grateful? Because I'll tell you this. The things that you are complaining about are probably nothing but the blessings that somebody else is praying for. The things that you're complaining about are probably the blessings that somebody else is praying for. And I know that doesn't just make life easier for you, y'all. I know to some of you that's just words, but I really want you to understand and feel that. There's no amount of nothing in this world that can fulfill your soul, y'all. No amount of nothing. I'm telling you, when you hit a certain financial place, you get used to it. It doesn't do for you like it did for you. When you get the house of your dreams, you get used to it. When you get all the people that know you, you get used to it. When you get the dream job, you get used to it. When your dream comes true, you get used to it. And I'm not saying that you can't appreciate those things because you should. You should be grateful. But the point I'm trying to make to you in impacting your soul, and hopefully this settles in your soul, is that no matter what you obtain in this world, it will never be enough. And I think that's why God was telling us, to gain the whole world and lose your soul, it's not worth it. And I don't think that necessarily means selling your soul or, doing things that aren't you. I think the biggest thing, and Rhonda, you can go on. Don't say that. Don't speak that. You can go on. You going on right now. I want to tell you, I saw your comment. You are going to go on. You're going on. You will go on. Because I want to tell you this, Rhonda, and everybody on here, just because your path isn't perfect right now doesn't mean the purpose of the path is not perfect. Sometimes you got to go through it to get to it. And I want to tell you, with God as your life spotter, with God having your back, with leading you, with God being the guide in your life, you built for it. Because God is built in you. You built for it. Don't give yourself no death sentence. Don't tell yourself your life is over. Don't tell yourself that, man, times will never get better. Don't speak death into your life. Speak life into your life. If anything, my mother taught me, which was a lot of things, but the one thing that always sticks, said, Trent, you always speak life into your life. No matter what you're going through, you speak life into your life. When my mother was on her deathbed in hospice, she was mumbling, but she was speaking life into her life. When she was going through her battle of cancer, she was speaking life into her life. My grandmother, my last conversation with her a week before she died, she was speaking life into her life and life into mine. Don't you ever speak death into your life, because understand, man, This life is just this life. This spirit, this body is just this body. The body dies, but the spirit lives forever. I want you to realize that it's not done when you're done here. I don't believe that, do you? It's not done when you're done here. So just because life on earth isn't favorable for you, life in heaven will be very favorable for you. And you got to believe that. You were called here for purpose, to serve purpose. And sometimes that purpose is not like another person. Sometimes you ask yourself, like, why am I positioned here? Why am I here? Maybe you're there because you're the only person that can make it better. Maybe you're in that position because you're the only person that could leave it better than how you found it. You see, sometimes we got to be positioned in places that don't make any sense. Sometimes we got to be positioned in places that we feel doesn't hold any value. Maybe that's the exact reason why you're positioned there. So you can bring the value. Because see, your soul, talking to you. You're a woman and a man of value. You're so valuable. You see, life has probably made you forget, right? Right? Struggle has probably made you forget. Hard times has probably made you forget. Unfavorable circumstances has probably made you forget. Made you forget about how valuable and incredible you are. You see, God gave you a smile and you stopped practicing it. You let the world take your smile. You let opinions take your smile. You let relationships take your smile. You let addictions take your smile. This live today, this moment today, is your reminder for you to smile again, my friend. And I want to let you know that you are amazing. You are valuable not because of how people see you, but because of how God created you. You're valuable not because of somebody putting a red heart on your damn post. You're valuable because of what God put in your heart when he gave you life. You're valuable, my friend. So maybe you're in that position because that place holds no value, but they need you to bring that value to it. I can look at my journey. I know it's easy for me to say now because of my following, all that. I can look at my journey 10 years ago. And I had so many questions of like, why am I here? Why? Doesn't make any sense. You see, God works beyond our understanding. So when we lean on our understanding, it don't make sense. When we lean on our understanding, we talk ourselves out of the position that God planted us in. When we lean on our understanding, we feel like everything is working against us when it's really working for us. When we lean on our understanding, we don't look at life in faith. We look at life in reality. We look at life in logic. And I've never seen God really work in logic. And so I want to tell you that even when it doesn't make sense, trust that God got you. Even when it doesn't make sense, trust that it's all working out. Even when it doesn't make sense, know it's a part of the plan that's been curated for your life. Maybe you've been planted there for a reason. You weren't buried. You were planted because you're that seed. You're that seed of light. You're that seed of encouragement. You're that seed of joy. You're that seed of change. And you are forgetting to water that seed because you wrapped up in logic. You wrapped up in reality. I need you to water that seed with faith. I want you to endure. I want you to keep going. You know, our greatest glory isn't in falling, but it's in the rising and every time we fall. The person that I know that has many scars, like you, that has many flaws, that's made mistakes. The person that I know that has all those things, or the person that I know that makes the most change, that creates the most change, that has the most impact. Because you lived a life of testimony. You lived a life of truth. We don't get testimony without tests. We don't get truth without trials. So you've been questioning everything that you've been through and not realizing that it was a part of the process to build that faith inside of you, to build that confidence and endurance inside of you. But you stopped turning the page. You allowed this chapter, you allowed this moment, this storm, to keep you stuck. See, the storm isn't a bad thing. The storm is necessary for your growth. You can't have a beautiful garden without storms. And the last time I checked, no storm lasts forever unless we choose to stay stuck in it. So the next time you go through your hard season, the next time you go through your hard storm, the next time you go through your hard year, just ask yourself this question. What is this growing inside of me? If you want to take it a step further and operate with absolute faith, you tell yourself, what is this going to grow inside me? You guys have a beautiful day. Hope this touched your heart a bit. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all.